Facebook. Candice Bertolini in the house. Here to teach you what not to do. I'm yelling again. What not to do if you don't like looking old. Okay, so this is a popular one, so I highly suggest you pay attention to this, because if you do the things I'm about to show you, you're just adding years onto your face, hence making you look old. And there's simple little steps that you can take to make you look actually younger. So I'm going to show you the common things that people do wrong that are actually putting aging on, aging yourself, putting age on your face, and the simple tweaks to actually make you look youthful and not make you look old. So what do we say? Does that sound like some fun? Sorry, I have not been on in a while. I have been a busy little bee. Lots going on. And actually, as I'm getting my skin prepped and we're gaining an audience, I'm just going to share something with you that I think is a warning to everybody. I actually experienced fraudulent activity on my card on Monday. I had a very bad day on Monday. So if you've been a victim of fraud before in any way, shape, or form, drop me a 5 down below right now. So because I don't want to interfere with my 1s and my 2s for my live viewers and my replay watchers. So if you've been a victim of fraud, give me a 5. How invading, how frustrating that is, right? So almost $2,000 in charges were charged on my card, and my actual card is on me in my wallet. So I guess somebody put a chip reader at the gas pump on the highway, which took my credit card number, and they went on a shopping spree, almost $2,000 at some kind of designer store in South Africa. And when I tried to call the number on the website, it doesn't even exist. So figure that one out. So I couldn't even call the store to dispute it. Instead I had to go through my card. Very frustrating. So anyway, if you've been a victim of fraud before, drop me your 5, because I would really love to one day know your story. But I had to go and fill out 5 forms to dispute every single charge, and it can take me up to 60 days to get my money back. So I am livid. But I'm back with all of you today. It's sunny out. I love when it's sunny. It makes me happy. It makes me want to play makeup. And I got to run out and get some errands done. So I figured this is perfect to come on to show you, because when I'm out on the job, I see these things being done that is actually aging you. So if you don't want to look old, I say stay on, drop me a 1 right now to let me know if you're here live with me, or just say hi and where you're tuning in from. I'd love to know. If you are new, if you're a new follower, please say hello and let me know where you're from. You can also tap my nose to follow me. Definitely, if you don't want to add me as a friend, click my nose. You'll see the follow button so that you never miss a makeup lesson. I'm always here to bring you value. You learn something from me every single time you come to visit. Also, if you're a replay watcher, which most of you probably are, because you're at work, not home like me, you're going to drop me your 2 in the comments so I know that you came to show me some love. And if you're on right now, I'm going to ask you, click share right now. Click that share button and type shared in the comments so I know you shared this, because we are going to help a lot of women right now. So if you love helping other people and you want to make sure that you're looking out for a friend or 2, you're going to want to click share right now. So right now, all I did was put on some Sotox, which is a lightener, brightener, tightener. So of course, aging yourself always first comes with skincare. If you are just piling a bunch of makeup on your face and not feeding your skin, you're gonna look old, okay? So that's a given. I'm not here to talk skincare. But what I also find is that dehydration makes you look old. Very old. I don't care if you got Chanel makeup, the best makeup in town, you're gonna look old if you're not hydrating. So I'm right now using a face oil called Due Date. It's one of my favorites because it's no toxic chemicals, not tested on animals, vegan, gluten-free, does the job, penetrates deep into my pores to hydrate from the inside out. Where some face oils out there, just because it says a face oil, doesn't mean it's a true oil. It can end up being a mineral oil, like baby oil, that's gonna sit on top of your face and add a grease slick, which is the complete opposite that you don't want to do. So if you're gonna use a face oil, make sure it's a good quality face oil like the one I'm using is due date. So I like to really work that in. The ingredients in this oil actually creates blood flow in the face. So see how I'm starting to get a little pink? You want that. You want that. Don't you look younger when you're exercising, right? Like it brings that, well, you don't look young while you're exercising, but afterwards it gives you that flush in your skin, right? Did you ever just feel prettier once you have that stimulated blood flow and you got that natural flush in your face? Well, this oil stimulates the blood flow, gets all the cells moving and turning over, and it's gonna put that nice flush back into your skin. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that. And then I just take the rest and put it down on my neck because you don't wanna waste good product onto the chest. Make sure you're doing the neck and chest, ladies, because if you got this, if you're taking care of the face and that's looking good, but then this all looks flabby and wrinkly, what's the point, right? So I kind of just like to drag it down and then put the rest into my hands. I'm gonna say hello. Make sure you're dropping your ones when you're here live with me so I know that you're here live. I'm gonna ask for you one more time to click share because we are about to give some value. We're about to show you how not to look old, and it's gonna be fun because I'm gonna show you how to look old. I'm gonna show you what you're doing wrong. Who likes that? Give me some hearts. Give me some hearts if you like that. We need a little comedy. See, I need to see the wrong things to know what I'm doing. Because you could be like, oh, I'm doing it right. No, you're not. All right, so I'm gonna take now my First Base Primer. First Base Primer, it's a First Base Primer spray. This is oil-free, water-based. I'm using this because it is going to help tighten my pores and act as a shield above my wrinkles, above my open pores, to make sure that the foundation sits flat on that primer. Make sense? No primer, what happens? The makeup's gonna settle into the wrinkles and the pores, which is going to enhance the pores, making them look huge. It's going to enhance the wrinkle to make it look cracky. We don't want that. So hydrate, first step. You should know this already. I teach this on my lives. And primer. I'm using a water-based primer because I'm going to use a pro-grade wax foundation. So I need to go opposite and use a water-based primer. If you're just using like a liquid foundation, you can use a silicone primer, that's fine. But if you're gonna go with a pro brand that is wax, then you have to go opposite and use the water-based primer. So that's lesson number one. All right, so first lesson, let me get my other palette out, is what can age you or make you look really bad is going too light or too dark on your face. Either way, okay? So you don't wanna do that. So we're gonna go too light on my face for the wrong side, all right? Especially if you're not color correcting, let me just explain to you. So like, see how I have some discoloration? If you're not color correcting under your foundation or over your foundation, you're gonna make yourself look gray or something. So I'm just going to put on like a pale type foundation, and I'm not gonna do any color correcting. Well, that's really white. I think I went too crazy. Let me go a little darker. I don't want to cheat here. Let's put some color in. Oh my God, people are gonna jump on thinking I'm doing Halloween makeup. Okay. So if you're just smearing your foundation on everywhere and not color correcting and not using the right shade, it's not going to make you look attractive. So you always want to make sure that you're matching your color by swiping the shade along your jawline, and it should look the same. It should blend in, okay? So for the right side, for the correct side, I'm gonna go into Shinto 1. I like to use Shinto 1 only in the redness area. Instead of smearing the same solid color all over the face, what you're doing is you're not putting into any dimension in your face. So if you're red here, brown here, wrinkled here, but not here, and you're just doing one flat palette color, may look good to you in your bathroom, but let me tell you, I'm in daylight, and I'm telling you, it ain't looking good, okay? Hi, Kelly, how are you? You don't need help looking old, no. So Bernadette, you're gonna watch to see if you're doing these mistakes, and then you're gonna wanna do the right things, right? And let's see, hello, Christina, hi, Jacinia, hello, hi, Arlene. Thank you, Stacy, for sharing. Make sure you guys click share right now and type shared in the comments, because you're gonna help some people out there, or you're gonna be selfish. Don't keep me all to yourself. That's not nice. All right, so I'm taking Shinto 1, and I'm just going to blot it on the red areas, because Shinto in our foundation is a yellow based. So I'm just gonna tap that on the areas that I'm red, okay? Notice how I'm not going all over the place. like this, and I'm just kind of tapping it in those areas, okay? Then I'm gonna turn it around and just kind of blend that in. You wanna make sure you're really pressing it into your skin to make it like second skin. And no worries, because if you did the primer, it's going to be sitting on top of that primer and not, falling into your pores. You shared a lot, Kelly. Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you, Justinia. Thanks for sharing. Hi, Bruni. Hello, sweetheart. I'm glad you caught me. Hi, Ange. Yep. Stay tuned, Ange, because you're going to get my secrets right now. Now, the other trick is I'm going to go into a second foundation. Now, this one's warmer than my yellow. I'm going opposite. This has more pink in it. So I'm going to go into this. It's a little darker than my yellowy one that's blocking out the red. And now because I have brown spots or freckles, you want to go into a Pink Series foundation and warm it up. So I'm going to take the darker and I'm just going to come along the outside perimeter of my face, just like that, because we're putting some dimension. Remember, we don't have a flat face like this. We just want a little dimension, and then come down the neck, because you always want to bring that color down the neck. And then what you're going to do is turn to a clean side of your sponge and just tap it in, because you don't want to see a line like that. So already, look how youthful that side is. If this side looks more youthful so far, I want you to give me a 3 right now. Would you rather have this side or this one dimension flat side? No. So now you know the benefit of having 2 foundations, okay? Plus, it's always good to have 2 foundations because, your skin color changes from fall to summer. So you'll want to sometimes mix the 2. A little tip is you can actually mix equal parts on the back of your hand of your lighter and your darker to get the middle shade. So you don't have to buy 3 foundations. Put that one in your back pocket. You're welcome. That's a big $1 million tip for you guys right there. Hey, Brittany, how you doing? Thanks for the 3s. All right, you already love the one with the life. Okay, now, this is the problem. So now concealer. If you go in with the wrong shade of concealer and you're not correcting, watch the difference on the 2 eyes. So now I'm gonna go into my concealer brush and I'm just gonna go into, let's see. So we see if I come in, there's a little pink in here. Some people have a very dark circle like right there. So if you have a dark circle there, you wanna use number 3, which is like a peach, to block that out, and then actually use a yellow to block out the red. So there's like a combination. But if you're just going into to save money, or you just don't know, and you're just going into a random medium shade, right? And so we're gonna go into that shade, and you're just applying it everywhere, right? Because you're like, oh, okay, this is concealing. Come in here, and you're getting into the crow's feet, and you're just going standard, thinking this is how you put concealer on. What you're gonna do is you're gonna end up putting the wrong shade across 2 different discolorations under your eye, right? And you're probably still gonna have the bag still show, because then you're like, I don't understand, it's not working. I applied the concealer and I still have bags. Well, because you gotta color correct, you gotta use the right tones. So right there, it still looks tired, it didn't do any justice. I just went in with a number 2. So now when you do a corrector first, so now in here, it's a little pink. So I'm gonna go in with a shade number 2. It's a waterproof concealer. It's wax-based waterproof, so it's not gonna move. And I'm just going to apply that over the reddish part because there's a little bit of a yellow corrector in number 2 and a little bit of peach, right? And then I'm gonna take number 3, which is a dark circle corrector, and come right here. So see how that just neutralized it? So I mean, you could do the 2 right at the same time. And then I like to take the residue and put it on the veins in the eye. So you could just put the remainder of the product on the eyelid to cover the veins and allow it to be like an eyeshadow primer, all right? Then what you do is you use your ring finger to tap the color into place. Notice how I'm not taking that color and going everywhere. I'm keeping it in its spot. Then I'm coming down to the dark circle corrector and tapping it in and keeping it in its spot, okay? And then just kind of tapping it in. You want to tap it in like second skin and only put it where it's needed, not out here in the crow's feet if you don't need it, because you're just going to look old. So already, just putting a random color, like one solid color everywhere, maybe it looks a little brighter, but it's still showing like a sunken circle. This one, tell me, I want a 4 now. Give me a 4 if you can notice the difference of using the right shade in the right area under this eye. So I'm gonna be waiting for your 4s to see if you're sleeping on this lesson or if you're learning. I need to know that you're seeing the difference. So give me your 4. While I'm wiping this off, we're gonna go into the next thing. Okay, the next thing, there we go, there's the 4s. If you're finding value and you've learned so far these first 2 things, click share down below and type shared because you need to be helping somebody. All right, now we're jumping to eyebrows. Here's another thing that's being done wrong, which annoys me. Okay, so let me grab the eyeshadow. I'm gonna go into number 40, which is out of stock, I'm sorry. It's just an ashy shade eyeshadow. So, if you are just following your line of your brow, right? And say you wanna make the brow bigger. I mean, like, I'm assuming you would if you had brows like me, because these are just like a stick eyebrows. I don't like stick eyebrows. So if you just keep the natural form and then try to just like build it up right here, yeah, I mean, it'll look better than not doing anything, but I'm gonna show you the difference between building up. So I want you to think now from this point, we did the face, the base of the face, right? Which I don't even think I got under my nose. Let me just get this all blended in. I want you to remember these 2 things. If you wanna look younger, you want everything to go up. If you wanna look older, you want everything to go down, which is a good analogy because downhill, get it? Getting old is going downhill. We wanna go uphill. So what we're gonna do is on the opposite eye, we're going to follow the natural line. You could do that. This is like brow 101, right? Follow the natural brow. But then we're gonna go above it. So we're gonna go above it to give myself an eye lift. Now you don't have to go thick. You don't have to go thick. Just that little bit. I mean, who on here has seen the 2 images that I posted last week? That's gonna be, it's like a little sneak peek of my Marilyn Monroe, my Audrey Hepburn, half of the face. If you saw that, give me some hearts right now if you know what I'm talking about, because it's a series of looks. I'm gonna be doing some iconic makeup. Instead of doing like Halloween looks, I'm gonna do iconic looks that have a modern twist, how to take those looks from back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s and make it in a modern way. So if you've seen that, I was able to transform my face into looking like Marilyn Monroe or looking like Audrey Hepburn just by following their brow. Brows have evolved over time, okay? So already this eye is like enhancing now the droop. Can you see the difference? If you see a difference right now, give me a 6. This eye has the droopy. All I did was I stayed down here, I filled it in a little bit. It doesn't look bad, right? It's not like I'm doing something on purpose, like a joke. This is what the average person does. But this eye, because I went slightly above the line to enhance it, doesn't this eye look a little bit more lifted? So you're gonna give me a 6 right now if you see that difference, that this eye is higher than that eye, okay? All right, so that's the second step, or 5th step. I don't even know what step we're on. All right. Now, let's do bronzer. Ready? So now bronzer, you're thinking, ooh, I'm a contour expert. I want to contour my face like these makeup pros, like these models, but yet you're aging yourself. Why? Because if you're not following the right curves and nooks and crannies or sunken in parts of your face, you're going to age yourself. So most people will just kind of go like this and rub bronzer. Let me know if you do this. I would love to know. You're just randomly putting it on because you're like, ooh, I want to give myself some color, right? The problem with this is when you're just putting it in a random side, thinking you're giving yourself color in your face, you're actually not forming any line. And when you come past this inner part of your face and any color that comes past there, you're pulling your face down to the floor. Hi, Maria, how are you? Do you got me so far? So we'll darken it up a little bit so you can kind of see what I mean, because a lot of people do this. They just go, ooh, I want my bronzer. Let me do the J-Lo halo. And they go all over, and it looks pretty to the average person. Yeah, we got some glow going on the side. But now if you go into the right area, but use the right type of brush, we'll use a nice angled brush, go into that bronzer, and you stay on the upper part of your earlobe, just in here, and then kind of buff it out upward. Remember, up is young, down is downhill. Don't go downhill. So now we're buffing upward. So we're creating that line and then we're buffing up. So then you can take this into the temple. You could still make yourself a smaller forehead up here, right? You can enhance it, build up. Don't do too much. Add as you go, like add it and then look, add it and look, and then blend up towards the sky, and then come along the jawline and bring it down. So now this side has a sagging down effect. Do we see this so far, or are you guys all sleeping? Let me know. Say yes. Yes if you see the difference. Type yes if you see the difference, because I want to know if you really see the difference. So this side is going down, where this side has more of a lifted appearance, right? We're kind of coming up there. Do you see what I'm talking about right now? So now I'm going to go into blush. Yes, Dolores says. Oh, I wish I was in California, Maria. Justinia says yes. She sees the difference. Who else sees the difference? Let's see. I always forget my blush palette. I'm gonna have to use something else for blush, just to kind of show you. My blush palette is in my pro kit. It's in my pro kit. All right, let's see what we can do. We're gonna use eyeshadow as blush to show you, because ours is all highly pigmented, so you can use either or. All right, so now I'm gonna take a small little brush and go into a nice burgundy shade for blush, okay? So now, big mistake is most people that do their blush come on an angle, right? They go like this. They do the apple of the cheek and they sweep up, because they see this in the magazines and they think if I sweep up and give myself that contour, it's going to look really good. Who does that? Who does that? The sweeping up thing, up into the temple. Because a lot of the makeup looks teach you that, right? To put it here and sweep up. No, this is going to make it look all like it's gone wrong. Instead, you take it and you apply it in this section right here, and you do it in like a downward motion. So you can smile. Don't do the apple of the cheek. If they taught you apple, that's wrong too. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Erin. So you're guilty of doing that. So what you do is you tap downward into this area, and you leave it there. See how it gives it nice little youthful, that youthful flush. And then you go to a clean brush, and you blend. You blend it. You could smile and bring some into the apple if you like that. You could take some residue up, but you keep it in this vicinity. So do we see the difference so far? Do we see a difference so far? Say yes or no, right? This gives the sagging down effect. This gives a youthful look. The higher brow, the bigger brow, not even bigger brow, just putting it above your natural line. Up, natural line, keeping it there, down. Eye droop, not an eye droop. You got me so far? I love teaching this. I love teaching this so much. You have no idea. Now, let's talk about face powder. Powder is an older woman's enemy. I don't know why so many people love the Bare Minerals powder, putting it all over the face. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the product. I'm saying stay away from powder. I think it's the chicken makeup line, like your chicken to do makeup so you feel safe with it because it's natural. No, powder, bad news. So what you want to do is you want to set the oily parts or the concealer parts with a translucent setting powder, not a makeup powder, because it's just adding more foundation on your face. But before I do that, we're going to go into zero concealer, because remember, you never put powder until you're done with all cream forms. I'm going to repeat, you never use powder until you're done with all cream forms. And now, plus for showing you this, I'm going to have to like do my makeup right on the other side, because I am not going out with one face done the wrong way, right? Arlene, yes. Maria, great tips. I'm glad you guys are learning. So now I'm going to take some zero. You know I love me some zero. Adding some light in the right areas is going to put some youth into your face. So I am using just a number 0, nude, like a whitish, like the most palest concealer that you can get. And I'm going to pop it into my brow bone and tap it in with my finger. Already that gave me a nice brow lift just by doing that. Do you agree? Then I'm going to put some in the outer corner of the mouth to take attention away from the side of the droopy face, and on the Cupid's bow to give myself a little bit of a fuller lip. So you kind of just tap that in to give yourself that little pouty, youthful, like pulled up look. If you messed up and went a little too far, you could take a little bit of that zero and just pop some in right there and do like a little curved motion Think of it as it's like hugging your apple of your cheek. You could pop a couple dots up here. And again, this is just looking at yourself in the mirror and thinking where you need that. Then, because we corrected the right shades under the eye, and if I pop a little bit of this brightness right in the inner socket and the outer part of the eye, and just tap that in, you don't need to follow the big triangle that you see on YouTube or all these makeup videos, because that doesn't necessarily mean that that's fitting for you. Okay, that might be good for like a 15-year-old or a YouTube girl or something like that, but adding a whole bunch of makeup in unnecessary areas is just gonna add more product on your face, it's gonna enhance your wrinkles, and it's gonna make you look older. So you just kind of pop that in, and if you notice, when I'm using my cream products, I apply it with my brush, but then I tap it in with my finger because of the heat. The body heat in your finger really works it into the skin. So already, just adding that part, brighten this side, where this side, because I didn't do any of that, you see the frown line on my face. You see how this part of the face is more drooping down. You still see the discoloration coming through my skin because I didn't use the right corrector shades. This side, with using minimal product, just foundation and concealers and bronzer, right? And a little bit of blush, it's giving you this youthful glow. So that's why when I'm working on a more mature skin woman, they say, oh, I hope you have a bunch of products for my face because I'm really old, you got a lot to work with. And I'm like, no, opposite, honey. It's the opposite. Less is more. Less is more, and using the right things in the right places. To do this look, I didn't show you 25 different things. I showed you like 4, right? So it's just plugging it in to the right places. So now another thing that's very youthful is glow or glowing, is adding a highlighter. So like I want to use something like this shade right here. So this is our new cream highlighter palette. You can use them as cream eyeshadows. You can use them as a base to your powder eyeshadows to really make them pop. Lipsticks, if you have matte lipsticks or matte cream lipsticks and you pop one of these shades into the center of your lip, you can have like a nice ombre type lip. There's so many things you could do with this palette. But anyway, I'm going into this shade right here. It's like a very, very muted gold, right? And what you want to do is tap. You don't wipe. You want to pop some color. So I'm just tapping it right here, like a little backwards L. That's it. So you can tap it and you can see that beautiful glow. When you add a glow right here, oh, stunning, stunning. And then you take a little bit and put it into your Cupid's bow. It's stunning and youthful, okay? I love that. Now that we're done with the cream version, right, we're gonna go into the powder, like I told you. You go into the translucent setting powder because in order to make the glow parts look glowy or youthful and not oily, you need to matte out the areas that you don't want to be glowy so that the glowy parts stand out. Does that make sense? Can I get a high five? Can I get a high five or some kind of thumbs up? If that makes sense, and emoji in the comments, please. And please, if you are learning a boatload of tips on this, I'm asking that you click share and then type shared in the comments because you're really gonna help somebody out that's making themselves look old. So I'm gonna take this translucent setting powder, because remember I explained it's weightless and colorless, and I'm just gonna pop that right there in the center because I don't wanna be glowy there. Otherwise, I'm gonna look like I was working out. Don't wanna look sweaty, so I'm gonna map that out. Then, because it's a translucent setting powder and it's a pro brand, because remember there's garbage products, but because it's a pro quality product, it's going to blur out my wrinkles. So see my number 11s? Now I have wrinkles. You saw me when I first started. If I'm just kind of brushing it into this area, into my number 11s, look how it blurred out my wrinkles. Okay, and this only works with setting powders that are translucent and colorless, and it's a good quality one. This will not work with a cheap brand or compact. Then I want to powder the bridge of my nose because I don't want that to look oily, right? Then I'm gonna get the chin because I don't want that to look oily. So basically it's like this section, right? And then I'm gonna get right there because this to me doesn't speak glow, it speaks oil, like oily sweat to me. So I'm just gonna powder that. And then of course the concealer under the eye because you don't want that to crease, right? And then I'm just gonna hit the eyelid a little because oily eyelids can make your eyeliner or mascara come off. So now, when I come in, look at the parts that are glowy. It looks more youthful, right? So if a beam of light is hitting me and I'm in Starbucks ordering an iced coffee, it's very youthful, right? If I made it all matte, it's going to make you look old. Now this side, it's not that I look bad, but I don't think I look younger on this side. I think I look younger on this side, right? And then the best product in the world is Time Setter. Time Setter is going to create a shield to lock this in. It's not like your typical setting sprays, because a lot of the setting sprays out there are like hairspray. It's sticky. It's creating like a sticky shield. If you're gonna do that, you might as well just grab your hairspray and spray your face. I don't wanna do that. Because this is natural ingredients, no toxic chemicals in this, and has other ingredients to push the powdery type makeup into your skin to make it look and move with your face and lock color in, this is the one I want to use. So I like to generously apply that and then let that dry. And that is like the key from that transferring onto your clothing as well. I don't know about you, but there was times that I would hug my husband when he comes home from work, and I would leave like an imprint of foundation on his dress shirt. So you want to create a nice shield with that. We have a lot of people that have done demos showing where if you put eyeshadows, and I'll come on and do it one time, where you do a bunch of eyeshadows and then you spray it with that Time Setter, and when you rub it, nothing comes off, and then the side, obviously, that didn't have the Time Setter with the primer, it rubbed right off, right? So that is the difference about applying the exact same products. You saw me do the same exact products, but in the wrong areas. So where I forgot to show you on the don't side, right? Little bonus credit. If we took the 0 and did, like I told you what not to do, and did the triangle, because everyone's trying to copy like the whole triangle. I mean, why do you need all of that everywhere? Yeah, you can add highlight, but all you're doing is adding a bunch of product. And to me, it just looks very like, what's the word I'm using? Amateur, or like you're just copying what a YouTube video would do. So see how like you want it to look like a normal eye, not like there's all sections of different makeup. Does that make sense? I hope these visuals helped you, but I just know that this side is the side that I would want to be doing versus this side. So if you learned something from this, please click share and type shared so I can thank you. I want to come back and show you some love if you were doing that. If you're a replay watcher, give me a 2 in the comments so I know that you came to show me some love. And if you were here live with me, give me your 1 in the comments so that I know that you were here live with me. Gloria, I love you too. And I'm sorry I haven't been on in so long, but yeah, I've just been crazy busy and I missed you guys. And I said, before I go out and run my errands, I have to get on here to come on and teach you guys some skills, right? I have to give you some skills. All right, I'll see you on the next live. I'm Candice Bertolini and I am your makeup fix. And I appreciate and love you all. Thank you so much. Have a great day.